And welcome to another one of Drew's book reviews. So today's book is The Daylight War by Peter Brett. So this is the third book in the Demon Cycle series, which is all about what's called the Daylight War. So this is supposed to be a holy jihad of the Crassian nation to conquer the world and unite the people to fight the demons that come in the night. So at this point in the storyline, we've got a more intelligent demon. It's called the Mind Demon, who controls mimic demons. So he's able to actually possess the bodies and minds of its victims and learn their plans and understand how they think so they can better achieve their goals to eventually win their war against the humans who live by day and fight by night. So it's really getting to an interesting point as we see the preparations leading up to this eventual daylight war as opposed to the ongoing night wars against the demons within this book. Now, the drawback that I'm seeing so far is with the daylight war. While I did certainly enjoy the book, the problem was with the title, really, because it's more of a preparation for this daylight war as far as the focus of the story as opposed to the actual war itself. So there is some aspect to it in terms of what they're doing and where they're going and where the Crassian army and Jardir is coming in and conquering the people, but there isn't much in the way of actual battles or confrontations or war with the people. All the battle scenes and all the fight scenes are focused on fighting the demons in the night, not so much the daylight war as the title might suggest. So that's kind of my criticism of this book, kind of the drawback. The title just, I guess, maybe didn't fit as well with the book as I'd hoped. But overall, still, I think it was quite an enjoyable read, one that I absolutely enjoyed, and I'm sure I'll continue to enjoy the series. So what we're looking at now is within this is we have the two deliverers. Essentially, we got Jardir and we've got the warded man who are coming to odds with each other. So the book does lead up to the eventual confrontation between these two. And we have Deliverer's Hollow, which is the village where it all starts, and it has been absorbing all of the refugees from the northward army march of the Crassian nation led by Jardir of Crassia. So Deliverer's Hollow is starting to swell from a tiny village to a large city, absorbing all of these refugees from the war that's been waged. So it's all referenced that this war has happened, that he has invaded, and that there's refugees. There's nothing in the book that actually speaks about or speaks to the confrontations or the actual battles that happened that led to these refugees fleeing to begin with. But they're essentially fleeing the military that's coming north to conquer them. One aspect of this series I'm actually kind of liking, which kind of leaves things open quite a bit to perhaps going back and doing some kind of prequel, is it has referenced the age of science a few times, and the age of science technology. So there's some hints there that perhaps the world that Peter Brett has created is maybe some kind of distant future Earth, when beyond a time when science and technology rule the world as it does now. So there's a few references in there, really kind of intriguing in a way, because it opens up the idea, well, what if this is some future world? What if this is how the world eventually evolved and becomes after some kind of global devastating conflict that ended the age of science and put man back to a primitive state while still knowing that such a time existed? So that's really kind of an interesting aspect to this. It doesn't touch on it much, but it certainly leaves the question of what if this world used to have a technological level as we understand it today. So I think that's kind of really cool about this. And one of the most intriguing aspects for me of this story, at the very least. So what Jardir has done is he's come forth and he's marching, of course, into what's called the Greenlands, marching north from his desert lands of the nations of Crassia. He comes to Deliverer's Hollow, where he meets the herb gatherer of Deliverer's Hollow. So herb gatherer is like the medicine woman. And she has a lot of power, a lot of pull, a lot of influence over the people. So he meets Lisha, the herb gatherer, Deliverer's Hollow. So Jardir here, he wants to marry Lisha and take him on as a wife. Now, he's already has multiple wives as part of custom and tradition within this culture. And so he proposes to her to bring him on as his northern first wife and offers to give her full control over all the lands north of his traditional kingdom and to have control and authority over all of his other northern wives, which he figures he'll eventually marry as well. Of course, she's not too keen on this idea about sharing him with other women. Not something she's all that into. So Jardir here, he's already decided that it doesn't matter. They're engaged, and she is going to marry him no matter what. And he continues to push for this, and she, of course, continues to say no. And of course, he doesn't want to offend her. He doesn't want to push her away, because she has tremendous power and influence over the people of Deliverer's Hollow, where the Warden Man's also making his stand. And they're fighting these demons in the night, and he needs the people to follow him so that he can continue his holy war, his jihad across the land. But he'd rather do it with the support of the people he's invading behind him, rather than having to shed blood, because he wants to recruit more and more to his army to have this final battle, climactic battle between demons and mankind. So it really ends up having a really interesting dynamic between the two characters, Alicia and Jardir. And of course, Jardir's other wives, Enerva being the first among all of his wives, and their dynamic and how they have this rivalry, and between poisons and attempted killings and confrontations. It just really makes for a very interesting dynamic between the characters, something I absolutely loved. So the book, as I mentioned earlier, eventually leads to the epic climatic battle between the Warden Man and Jardir, the Shardamaka, or the deliverer of the people of Krasia, who will eventually rid the world of the demon curse. So this is a very interesting climatic battle. I really loved how it was set up. I loved how it played out. But I have to say, the ending really left me thinking, like, whoa, WTF, what the heck? You gotta be kidding me. You're ending the book like that? No way. And just like, dang it, I've got to get the rest of these books. I cannot go without finishing off the demon cycle. Just the way that it ended was just like, whoa, you can't end it like that. No way. I really kind of see, well, what happens now? What happens next? I haven't bought the rest of the demon cycle yet, but I definitely will have to. This is certainly a must-read book for any fantasy fan. I really enjoyed it. Love how the ending really just gets you to go, there's no way I could just stop reading this series at this point. Now I can. You have to know what happens next. And it really was set up quite well. Absolutely love that about that easily. I'll give this book an 8 out of 10 bookworms. Definitely highly recommend. Go and pick it up, read it, read the Demon Cycle. Enjoy it. And also, of course, don't forget to subscribe, comment below, or visit my WordPress site, andrewsbookreviews.wordpress.com. So definitely, and of course, share. Let people know, and if you think it was a great review or you like the book as well, be sure to let me know. And again, thanks so much for watching. And of course, up next, we are going to have, by Brandon Sanderson, Firefight. So this is book 2 of The Reckoners. I did not get a video review on the first book, Steelheart, but this is a series I've been enjoying. So I hope that this book is as good as I remember Reckoners being. So look forward to reading that. And of course, stay tuned for the review on Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. Book 2 of the Reckoners series. It should be good. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.